Among the performers, Roxy Lau. Here's a sampling of what you'll see from one of the performers Saturday night, the Chitwood Ballet Company. Another performer at the event will be Roseburg's Western Regional Gymnast champion Emily Hogan. Tickets are $5 and available between the Buns in One Champion Plaza, Ricketts Music Store, Fullerton Drugs. Sports is next.
Noise and drainage problems the project could create, but most everyone admits the project is needed and the pressure is on the board to come up with a solution.
They need to know a site would be available to them to continue raising money so that they can get some plans really drawn up and really get to working on something in particular so they know what kind of costs they're dealing with.
Project organizers say once a site is chosen, they can pursue the $250,000 to $300,000 in grants and other funds needed to finish the rink. The council was advised to wait for a formal site review on the proposed rink area before making any decisions. Also,
Site to get started. Some say they've found that site at the Roseburg Valley Mall. Sharon Winfield has more.
And the other supporters of the Umpqua Valley Community Project take a look at the proposed site for a future skating rink in Douglas County. Monday night, the Roseburg City Council decided to support the project, but they just aren't sure where to put it.
They are going to have a study about the traffic on Stewart Parkway. They need to check into the drainage issues, of course, on the creek area, the creek bed.
The corner of Stewart Parkway and Valley View is the site the city and the Parks Commission may be considering. The 2-acre area holds no other plans. It's accessible to bike paths and it's near plenty of schools and neighborhoods. Fred Smith from the Parks Commission sees this location as ideal.
Most of our members on the commission are for this thing. Any time that we can put a facility up that benefits the youth and the young people of the county, it gives them something to do.
Smith also has some ulterior motives. He's head of the Special Olympics, and he says last year many youngsters suffered disappointment because there was no place to practice.
We were unable to send skating representatives from Douglas County this year because nobody were able to practice due to the lack of a rink facility.
But Diana Colby and the others are hoping that's all about to change. Colby says with the city's support, they will be able to find a piece of land suitable for the rink and get the project underway.
If this site doesn't work out, that they are going to do everything within their means to find a site for us.
In Roseburg, Sharon Winfield for Northwest News.
the possibility of a skating rink in Roseburg is coming closer and closer to reality. After years of planning, the Umpqua Valley Community Projects only has a few more hurdles to jump before it can break the ground on a skating rink and youth activity center. The location has been narrowed down to this spot behind the YMCA after recently receiving full support from the Y. Now the group is waiting on a decision from the Roseburg Planning Commission on a variance for parking.
For the facility size, the city would require 200 parking spaces, and we have done a full skating facilities around the state. We don't need that many parking spaces, so what it will do is allow us to put in a smaller amount of parking.
Colby says that decision should be made in about 2 to 4 weeks. She says they will also be sharing parking with the Stewart Park Golf Course. She says the location is perfect because parents can drop off their children and go golfing or go to the Y and play racquetball. There's also a traffic light and safe crosswalks and bike paths so the kids can ride their bikes over. Meanwhile, the group has been busy trying to publicize their project with booths at the fair and at the Sutherland Blackberry Festival. They will also raise some funds through the John Strong Circus Variety Show that will be September 19th and a possible Chubby Checker concert. The rink will be fully funded by grants and donations and one-year skating passes and sales of signs to be posted in the rink.
A nonprofit group wants to bring a roller skating rink back to Douglas County so skaters don't have to travel to Eugene or Medford. Monty Muirhead reports the group continues forward despite various setbacks.
The Umpqua Valley Community Projects wants to build a roller skating rink on this piece of city property. between the YMCA and the Stewart Park Golf Course. The group's latest obstacle has been receiving permission to lower the required number of parking spaces. City officials initially told the group that it would need a parking variance, but Tuesday afternoon, Planning Department officials said the group would instead have to get a city ordinance rewritten.
We need to wait again. The City Council will need to approve the rewritten ordinance, and it sounds like as soon as they can rewrite it that we will have the approval on the property we need to do.
The Planning Commission told skating rink supporters that it could not rewrite the ordinance. So Umpqua Valley Community Projects now has to go back to the City Council to initiate that action.
It just seems like we get past one thing and there's something new, so I'm not really sure. It's not a negative thing, but it's still an unknown.
But Colby is confident that a new skating rink will be built within the next year. The city of Roseburg has had a skating rink since World War II, but the most recent one had to close down several years ago when the owners took on some costly projects that did not pay for themselves. But because of its longtime presence in the community, skating rink supporters believe Roseburg can support a new facility as long as it is not the most expensive one that could be built. Colby says numerous pledges have already been gathered for the new rink, but she says the group still needs another $200,000.
Helping families stay together in Douglas County is one of the reasons Umpqua Valley Community Projects is working on a skating and recreational facility.
We have the land, we have cash, and we have over $70,000 in in-kind donations. People that have offered their labor, they care about the kids and they care about the community. This is really a community project.
This is the future site of the facility, located right behind the YMCA, but the group can't start building until more money is raised.
We have to raise half, 125 through grants and 125 through the public donations, and then we'll have our roller skating center. The pink represent a $1,000 donation, and the blue is, or the green is 50, and these are 20, and these are 100.
UVCP has been working on the project with the county and city after financial troubles forced the old Skaters Derby to close several years ago.
Unfortunately, for some entertainment, we've had to go out of county. Now that we have the ability to entertain our young people here and keep them right within our community, that's always a benefit. Keep the dollars and young people here and entertained and involved.
The facility will provide a place for low-income children, other area kids, and families to have fun and stay out of trouble. Plans for the rink include a snack bar, rollerblading, and roller hockey areas, as well as party rooms. And for the next 7 weeks, UVCP will operate a booth at Garden Valley Center where the public can learn more about the project and maybe even contribute a little money. In Roseburg, Leslie McKenney, Northwest News.
I can't wait until the new skating rink opens. Yeah, that'll be great, but they have to build one first. My mom said that Umpqua Valley Community Projects are trying to build one. Do you think the people will help?
The city of Roseburg has approved locating a skating and recreational center in Stewart Park. Umpqua Valley Community Projects is dedicated to safe recreation for children and families. This complex would benefit the entire community. By the end of this year, we hope to have a new skating center, but we do need your help.
In Stewart Park are taking steps to combine efforts with the YMCA. Dan Bain has this report.
YMCA Director Mike Cronin announced today that his organization is in negotiations with Umpqua Valley Community Projects to put together an agreement that would allow them to build a skating facility adjacent to the Y.
Have really just begun discussions about the possibility of having a joint facility that would be attached to the east end of the YMCA. We just feel that the possibilities for serving kids in the community would be greatly magnified, and we're kind of excited about the discussions.
Diana Colby, chairman of the UVCP, said her group was successful in their goal of raising money, but the agreement with the Y would strengthen their efforts.
We still need to receive some grant funding. We feel it will strengthen us by collaborating with other community organizations and stepping under the wings of a nationally known organization like the YMCA. And it's also going to provide sooner a lot more recreation for our youth, and that's what we're all about.
Sandy Lucchese, a member of the group, says the merger, if approved, would do away with their previous agreement with the city to build on city property.
Initially, what this merger means is that now instead of our lease being with the city, our lease will be at the YMCA. So the YMCA and our attorneys are looking at the concept of taking the agreement that we had with the city and making that the agreement that we have at the YMCA.
The Y has plans to add a room to the east of the swimming pool, and the skating rink would join that. Colby says they're excited about the project, and if everything works out as planned, they could break ground as early as next spring. In Roseburg, Dan Bain, Northwest News. For this Sunday evening, March the 2nd, I'm Dan Bain, and on tonight's program, we're going to take a look at some youth activities in this area. How many times do you hear a youngster say there's nothing to do here? Well, tonight we look at some of the activities that kids do have available to them. There's a lot more than many of them think there are. First, Jill Young takes us to the YMCA in Roseburg and a look at a long-awaited project that's starting to take shape.
This brand new YMCA facility is only 5.5 weeks from opening up, and it took only 10.5 months to complete. Let's go inside and take a look.
Lobby area here. Most everybody who comes into this place will come in through these doors behind us or in the lobby section. As we go on to the right is the beginning of what will be a computer station. And it is also being built in part for handicap.
This is my favorite room, and here's one view you've got to check out.
Again, one of the exciting things about the new weight room we're getting is we've got a grant to buy some exercise equipment for folks that are in wheelchairs, so they'll be able to come in, exercise in the weights. They'll have a full elevator system, so the facility will be totally accessible to anybody, all ages, all physical abilities. So that's what's exciting. Mentioned. Allows us to do what we already do in a bigger, better way. But what's also important is because of the new addition for us, it frees up space in the existing facility. We will have a better child watch center. We'll have a new kids gym, and we'll have an additional daycare classroom, so we'll be able to service about 25 to 30 more families in licensed child care and that type of thing.
I can't imagine a town no bigger than 20,000 people having a facility of this size and being equipped in this manner. It just doesn't happen anywhere else but here.
Shelley Briggs Loosely, who's the president when it got started.
The YMCA Board of Directors is proud to officially turn this tremendous facility over to our community. This special project has been accomplished by the hard work and commitment of many individuals. Individuals who always kept the big picture in the forefront of their thinking and actions. The financial support of the community at large that contributed, this collaboration is implemented. This project would not have been completed without the commitment to community and generosity of Kenneth Ford and the Ford Family Foundation. To raise the needed money, the financial support of the community at large that contributed over $400,000 to ensure its success, the YMCA Board of Directors' willingness to accept the ownership and accountability for this project, the enthusiasm and passion of Umpqua Valley Community Projects in their quest to bring roller skating back to our community, the City of Roseburg for their willingness to work with the YMCA
to develop a joint parking plan to meet the needs of the new facility and the users of Stewart Park. The Douglas County United Way, for their community-mindedness and working with the YMCA in our effort to raise the needed money for this project at a time that was in direct conflict with their own fundraising efforts. This project would not be standing, or we would not be standing in this project today without these entities collaborating together. Because our community worked together, we have a family recreation center that is truly one of a kind. The United Way campaign slogan says it all. Great communities just don't happen. As president of the YMCA board, I'm very proud to have been a part of this entire process. Thank you all for your efforts and generosity in making this a one-of-a-kind facility for our entire community that we are standing in today. Thanks for making it a reality.
Organization that began with a dream in September of 1990. A dream to build a skating facility, a goal to provide safe, fun, low-cost, supervised recreation for children, youth, and their families year-round. Our dreams became the dreams of our community leaders, our youth, and the many friends we met along the way. As we faced one obstacle after another, we were given the leadership and the tools to continue on. We fondly referred to it as a marathon that took us on a journey that led us to the Ford Family Foundation. We took those dreams, proposed them to the YMCA through Jack Snodgrass, and formed a partnership between the two organizations. In December of 1993, Umpqua Valley Community Projects entered into a preliminary lease agreement with the YMCA. Thanks to the countless hours the volunteers put in doing hot dog sales, team dances, variety shows, food concessions, car washes, pencil skating center, that this facility will keep our youth involved and reduce the number of kids at risk. Thank you and God bless.
I also knew that the Y was running out of space, and we also
I would just like to say, and I know it's hard to hear back there, but Jack and I were both kind of under the direction of a man that isn't with us, but Kenneth had a deep feeling for this project, not only for the skating people, but for the children and the men and women of Douglas County. I think I spent several nights way into the late hours, and he would say, and those of you that knew him, Jerry, I think we ought to move this wall out about 20 feet, and maybe we ought to go another 10 feet, because he was always looking 20, 30, and 40 years in the future. He wanted first quality, which you see here. Russ Noah and all his people were very cooperative in getting that done, but we have a facility, and primarily due to a good friend, my best friend, and I know a friend of all of yours, Kenneth Ford. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
and I have this crying for her.
I bet you didn't ask me to read that because your roof leaks. You see, I've got water coming down from up above, and I really would like to talk to the contractor after this, Bill, to make sure that he repairs that leak in the roof. Wish Kenneth were here today to see this because he'd be so proud. Anyway, thanks, to everybody who worked on this. And Kenneth was astounded how fast the board raised the money. Thanks to Shelley and to Neil and to Brian. That money, they got up there, they probably overnight raised the money that he asked for matching funds, and it was just fabulous.